Should you spend your day off outside? After a long week of crowded trains, screens, and endless meetings, the alarm you forgot to turn off rings on Saturday morning and you face a familiar crossroads. Pull the curtains shut and go back to bed, or get dressed and step out into the bright city streets. Many office workers and students wrestle with this dilemma every weekend, wondering whether resting at home or going out is really better for their body and mind. Is it healthier to push yourself a little to go outside, move your body, and get some sun? Or is staying home, sleeping in, and recharging in your own space the wiser choice? In this video, we host a 10-round, 20-turn debate where both sides clash on equal footing and examine the pros and cons of going out versus staying home on your day off. Which way of spending your day off is closer to your style? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get into the debate.
First, in modern life, many people spend long hours sitting at work on weekdays. So at least on holidays, they should go outside, walk, and get some sunlight, which many studies show is good for both physical and mental health. Exposure to daylight resets the body clock and improves sleep quality, and even light aerobic exercise is said to reduce stress hormones. Rather than just lazing around at home, planning and going out can actually make rest efficiency higher.
I agree that exercise and sunlight are important, but there is also a lot of data showing that Japanese people are chronically sleep deprived. So I think catching up on missing sleep should come first. On weekdays, we are constantly surrounded by people and flooded with information during commuting and work. And if we go out into crowds, even on holidays, the overstimulation can exhaust many people even more. Quiet time at home can act as a breakwater for mental health in many cases.
Still, staying home all the time definitely reduces physical activity, and surveys show that daily step counts have drastically dropped among those who work from home. If you intentionally go out on holidays, even just walking in a park or to a nearby cafe, blood circulation improves, and that can help relieve stiff shoulders and headaches. At home, you easily fall into the bad loop of endlessly scrolling on your phone or watching videos, but going out makes it easier to break that pattern.
However, we cannot ignore the costs that come with going out. Travel time, transportation fees, and eating out costs all pile up, and these are a heavy burden, especially for low-income households or families with children. Financial anxiety is one of the major factors that worsens mental health. Spending holidays at home, cooking for yourself, or reading books borrowed from the library can be a more rational choice for long-term life stability because you can rest without spending much money.
The cost problem can be controlled quite a bit by choosing the destination wisely. There are plenty of places where you spend almost no money besides transport: nearby libraries, parks, free exhibitions, and local events. By visiting such places, you can also learn about local information or support schemes, which helps prevent social isolation. If you lead a lifestyle where you rarely go out, you increase the risk of not knowing which places or people you can turn to when something goes wrong.
I agree that local ties are important, but there is no need to restrict them to going out on holidays. Evening online communities or chat during weekdays can also build connections to some extent, and many people form deep relationships in geographically dispersed communities through hobby servers and games. In fact, for introverted people or those with certain neurodivergent traits, online spaces can be less stressful than offline ones. More and more examples show that real-world venues are not always the best option for everyone.
However, If you rely only on online relationships, their fragility can become clear in emergencies or disasters. Various reports show that mutual help among local residents is crucial in disasters, and simply recognizing each other's faces lowers the psychological hurdle to ask for help. Even just exchanging greetings with neighbors while walking or shopping on holidays helps gradually build real-world weak ties. I think we shouldn't underestimate the value of accumulating these small real-life contacts.
On the other hand, real local communities are not always positive. There are plenty of reported cases where privacy is violated or where people suffer from conformity pressure in groups like mom communities. For those people, consciously keeping some distance from neighborhood communities and spending holidays at home at their own pace becomes a stabilizing factor for mental health. Even weak ties need to be built at a pace and intensity that the person actually wants.
From the mental health perspective, simply changing your environment itself is often said to have a reset effect. If you keep worrying in the same room with the same view, your thinking tends to go in circles, and anxiety can amplify. Whether at a cafe or the seaside, changing what you see can alter how you frame the problem or spark creative ideas. In that sense, going out on holidays is a way of airing out your thoughts in the open air.
Conversely, you could say that if you properly design your home environment, you don't need to escape outside in the first place. Tidying up, rearranging furniture, adding plants, or adjusting lighting can make your home sufficiently comfortable so that you can concentrate on reading or creative work there. Because you don't have to spend energy on commuting or socializing, you can allocate more of your limited time to hobbies and skill building. That is a major advantage of indoor holidays.
Even when improving your home environment, visiting furniture stores, home centers, or showrooms in person provides discoveries you can't online. You cannot fully judge chair comfort, light color, or material texture from photos and reviews alone. By going out on holidays and touching the real thing, you can ultimately raise the quality of your time at home as well. So there is a positive feedback loop between going out and enjoying your home.
I don't deny the importance of touching real products, but many people have experienced the frustration of traveling to a store only to buy nothing and come home exhausted. Now we have online services like free returns and virtual try-ons, so you can compare options from home without stepping outside. With limited holiday time, it can be more rational to choose low-risk methods at home rather than gambling on the success rate of going out, where the outcome is uncertain and the cost is sunk.
From a health standpoint, outdoor activities are linked to vitamin D synthesis and maintaining cardiovascular fitness. Especially in seasons with short daylight hours, the more you stay indoors, the more your internal rhythm gets disrupted, and some research suggests seasonal mood drops become stronger. By intentionally going to a slightly distant park or mountain on holidays, you naturally climb stairs or hills and get levels of exertion that are hard to replicate with indoor workouts. We should not dismiss that.
On the other hand, not everyone is physically capable of enjoying going out. For people with chronic illness, disabilities, or long-term fatigue, going out may be a major energy drain rather than healthy exercise. They must also worry about variables like accessibility, availability of barrier-free toilets, or temperature differences. For them, home-based options like stretching, light muscle training, and online yoga provide safer, more sustainable exercise. For these people, staying home on holidays is not laziness, but an adaptive strategy.
Holiday outings also play a role in career and learning opportunities. Real-world events, study groups, exhibitions, and workshops offer serendipitous meetings and horizontal connections that are hard to get online. Participants at such venues usually share interests, and these meetups sometimes lead to information exchanges about jobs or to new joint projects. There is a layer of opportunities that you simply can't access if you stay inside all the time.
However, such events are heavily concentrated in urban areas, so people living in rural regions face high physical and financial barriers to participation. There's also a structural issue. People with strong offline social skills benefit more, while those without them tend to be sidelined. Online courses and communities are less affected by distance or personality, and recorded lectures can be viewed at one's own pace. Using holidays for home-based online learning can help close opportunity gaps rather than widen them.
For households with children, holiday outings are particularly important for development. Experiences at parks, zoos, and science museums offer sensory-rich learning that imprints differently from information on screens. Outings where parents and children interact firsthand create memories as photos and lived experiences, forming the foundation of family relationships. If everyone simply stays at home staring at separate screens, such shared experiences are much harder to create.
Yet, in dual income or single-parent households, the burden of housework and childcare on weekdays is already huge. So when parents plan big outings on holidays as well, preparation and cleanup can leave them completely exhausted. For children, too, if every weekend is filled with schedules, they lose unstructured free play time. Unstructured play at home, building blocks, creative crafts, or helping with chores also has clear developmental value. We should not undervalue the quality of such home-based play.
In summary, I believe holiday outings bring multi-layered benefits: physical activity, mental reset, social connections, and expanded learning and career opportunities. Issues of cost and physical strength can be mitigated by choosing closer destinations and shorter durations, and even brief local outings provide some benefits. Therefore, instead of automatically thinking, "I'm tired, so I'll just stay home," we should also factor in the long-term returns gained by stepping outside. That is why I argue we should actively choose to go out on holidays.
Conversely, I think the value of a holiday should be judged not by how far you went, but by how much your body and mind recovered and how true to yourself you could be. Going out involves many variables: preparation, travel, and social interaction that in themselves become burdens for some. Now that online tools and home environments have advanced, structuring holidays around staying at home is no longer being a shut-in, but a valid form of life design. So I maintain that on holidays, we should prioritize rest and self-investment at home over going out.
This concludes our 10-round debate on whether you should spend your day off outside or stay home and rest. How do you want to spend your own days off to balance recovery, health, and happiness? Share your ideal way to spend a day off, along with any tips or routines in the comments.